This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back guaranteed. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live full service. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Don't miss the Hulu original docuseries Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Frankie.
My wife created a YouTube channel.
Thumbs up, subscribe.
But only what we wanted to show.
I'm still recording!
A 3-part series event.
She said the children were demonically possessed.
Get out!
That blew the powder keg.
Ruby crossed the line to psychotic.
911 emergency.
Open the door!
Hulu's Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Frankie. All episodes available February 27th. Streaming on Hulu.
Welcome back to Connect with Jonathan Mark. We are sticking with unsolved cases, real people and real crimes. This week is a first and a very special one. It is an international case taking place in Australia. We have someone that recorded at 4:30 in the morning their time, which is absolutely incredible. And I'm so thankful that she trusted us to do this. But before I get into the details about this case, I want to talk about the new documentary that is out and all over Netflix, which is the Gabby Petito documentary. Now, as you guys know, I've done, a few readings with her on my show, and also I've worked on this case. I was asked to be in this a long time ago, and it just fizzled out. Nothing happened. So I really did not know what direction this documentary was going to go in. But first, before I get into this, I just want to give my congratulations to the entire Petito family for even getting this out there. I mean, this is amazing to share their story, how they wanted to do it. And with that being said, every time I had her on, I didn't know what the documentary was going to be about. But a main focus in this that I've been getting DMs, emails from hundreds of people, and I am so thankful that every single one of you update me, are so engaged, and it makes me feel just so amazing. So I just want to thank you guys for that. I brought up what is a big part of this documentary, which is Gabby trying to reconnect with someone from her past, like an ex-boyfriend. Now, I mentioned this back on September 24th, and the episode is called The Gabby Petito Story, A Connection with Mom, Nicole Schmidt. We talk about this. I bring up how she's going to visit someone from her past and how it was an ex-boyfriend. And with that, nothing happened. There was no spark. She validated that for me, but she didn't make it seem like that was going to be a huge premise of the show, which is okay. She wanted to keep that private. And now that I know that that's such a big part of it, I just want you guys to go back, listen to it, share it, because I mentioned this months before this was even out there to the public. And the reason why this is so important is because it gives a little bit of an indication of the why. People always wonder, what's the why? Why Brian did this? Aside from the domestic violence, which is public knowledge, the why. And this is a huge part of it. So I want you guys to go back. It's on September 24th. The episode's called Gabby Petito's Story, A Connection with Mom, Nicole Schmidt. And please watch the Netflix documentary to help the Petito family. They're amazing. They're great people. Now, I want to go back to this case that we're doing today. And I want to explain to you guys that we have to be sensitive with this case because we're dealing with real people, real loss in real time. And this case is so active that we have to censor names, not even say names. We're not even going to say any names really because we want to protect the family and also the investigation. So please sit back, relax, and listen to this. Do you guys have a group for your mom? We're on social media?
I did, yes.
Okay, because your mom's coming through saying, she's just showing to me that there's like a group for.
Okay. Yeah.
But I want to ask you, who's the M name?
Her mum's name starts with an M.
Okay. She keeps showing me that she was trying to go from point A to point B, right? But she was not in, like when they found, it seems like whether it's a car, a motor, like whatever motor vehicle that your mom used, it was a little unclear how it got there, she keeps saying. Like, it's like the location, she keeps repeating to me, location, location, location. What she's also repeating to me too, what she wants me to emphasize to you about is, and this is the only reason I'm saying this because she's just emphasizing the importance of this. Sometimes people associate themselves with people that are not great, is what she keeps saying. And sometimes a simple conversation and a simple association can go a very long way, is what she's saying. She's pointing at you and she's saying, you essentially know what I'm talking about, where she's joking about this. It's like people that are not the most outstanding citizens of society is what she keeps saying to me. But what she's also saying to me too, and the problem with this, and what she's also showing to me, and she keeps putting a dial in front of me, indicating the pace of how fast that they dropped this case. Because this is the problem that she's showing to me that I wanted to bring up. The location of it seems like a car.
Yeah, it's her car. Yeah.
But it also seems with this, it's kind of like they exhausted a lot of, options, but fast. So it's like they went through things very fast. So for example, it's kind of like if they had like canine, like dogs or aircraft people, because what she's showing to me, and I don't know the location, the best way to describe it, but when I say forest or like open land, it's just like wildlife land is what is being shown. It's not like a metropolitan area in any type of way. It's like kind of removed from it. But again, the importance of what she keeps showing to me, and she keeps putting balloons in front of me. And when she puts balloons in front of me, when someone does that, typically what that indicates is the moment that they stopped the investigation was around someone's major date, whether it's a birthday, anniversary of such. And she keeps swaying balloons back and forth to me. And when she's also
my 30th. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because what she's smiling at, and this is what I want to get into. It seems like you've been investigating yourself. It seems to some extent. I'm assuming most families do this, but what she's saying to me about this, which is important, is the fact that you're on to people that I think she's trying to validate the people that you have like person of interest on, which I want to get into with you, because she's saying that, and I just want to be honest with you with everything I say, it's just the truth of it. Sometimes people that are close to you can fool people, right? It's kind of like when you let people into your lives and it can fool people, because she's saying she trusted a few people that were in everyone's lives and now they're gone, is what she's saying. And she's pointing at you saying like, you know who I'm talking about, because it's more than one person, it seems, unfortunately. Like it seems like a plan that just kind of like, it doesn't seem random to me to some extent. Like what seems random to me from what she's showing to me. Oh, wow. Can I explain to you what she's showing to me about the whole process of things? They haven't found her body, correct? Or did they?
No.
Because she keeps basically showing me it's a mystery still of where she is.
Yeah.
And you do know that like, whether she was talking to people or like letting people in her life, that some of these people were not good people, because she's apologizing to you to not listening to you when you said like take a step aside from these people, because she's saying that, I'm assuming you saw this from like way before this had happened. This like as far as like the people and like the company she was keeping, essentially. What she's also saying to me too, and I want to ask you this, is because she's apologizing for this as well. I think sometimes people go through things in life and they rely on people or things to help them get through certain, whether it's maybe drinking or whatever it is. Because she's apologizing to you for the fact that she keeps cheersing me. And when someone cheers me, it means they rely on something to help them get through something at times.
Yeah.
And what she's saying to me is that she's apologizing for putting certain people and things first before family, is what she keeps saying. And she's saying that she should have listened to you as far as taking a step aside, because it seems to me from what she's showing to me, to you, that you offered help in many different ways.
Yeah.
But what I want to get into like the whole missing part because this is what's so weird from what she's showing to me. And I just want to explain to you exactly what she's putting in my head. So what she's putting into my head is basically whether it's wildlife, water, etc. Right? And she's saying her car was like pretty next to it and abandoned. It looked like it was completely abandoned, but it also looks like, and like I said to you before, the major thing from what I see is the question mark of how the car got there. It kind of seems. And what it also seems as well too, from what she's showing to me, she's underlining the M name, saying that like, if you want to find anything in relations to like what had happened, you have to start with the M name. And what she's saying to me though about this, and this is why I want to kind of go back to what she's showing to me about a couple of things, because what she's showing to me is, and I just want to be honest, like I know I keep saying this, but it's tough because your mom, from what I can see, is a good person. It's just surrounded herself with bad people. And what I also see too is like bad people can influence good people to do bad things. And she keeps saying to me that she was influenced to do bad things. So I want to use this as like a phrase to you just because what she's showing to me. If you hear something, see something, and you shouldn't hear or see something, sometimes bad people want to remove them from a whole picture.
Yeah.
And that's what she keeps saying. It was wrong place, wrong time. And the thing that's even more crazy is the connection between the M name and the community around them. It seems that like, from what she's showing to me, it's like, and I know it's not literally like this, but it's like having your finger in like all different things within something. You may not actually be a part of it, but you have your finger in it. And what I'm being shown is like, what she's saying to me was, people can be very manipulative and say that they're going to protect, help you, and do everything all in one thing, even when they're actually hurting you, like, and you don't realize it. But really what she's showing to me with that too is she needs you to know to get to the root of where she is so you can get closure and your family can get closure. Revisit the M name is all I'm going to say. Revisit the M name. And I am going to tell you that from what I see, it's going to be way difficult to even do that. And the reason why, and I don't know if she's being literal or joking, I guess, but it's kind of like when someone puts a fence around me and guard dogs, it's just a symbol for me that someone who's very well protected and well watched and well managed, right? It's like essentially like, and I'm not using that as like a literal thing where there's guard dogs and like a whole thing.
No,
it just seems like it's going to be
it.
difficult to get to this person.
Yeah.
What I also see too from what she's saying, and she's smiling, is she's not too far away from that car. The reason why she's saying that is because, and she's laughing, he's not that smart. He definitely covers his tracks well because it seems like it was covered well, but he's not that smart. And what she's saying is that, so this is also what's interesting. She said there was a lot of attention and then the attention went away very fast. Do I think it's like very close to that car? No. I think it's in proximity, like
Of that area.
Yeah, it's not like in 10, 20 feet away. No, there's no shot. But what she's saying to me is that it's in proximity, because what she's also saying is where the car was found, and I'm using this as an example, it's like an abandoned area. It's like people don't really like go to. And what she keeps saying to me also is the car seems to have been like fairly wiped clean too. It doesn't look like there was a lot of items in it, because she's saying that, and again, this is the only reason why she's bringing this up, is it seems like this is a recent missing persons case. And it also seems like, and the reason why I'm saying I can tell it's recent is only because she keeps bringing up technology to me. When someone brings up technology, it means like you have, it's not a case from like the 80s, right? Like it's recent. So she keeps saying to me that like we need to, I know again, it's stupid, but it's just what it's being shown. Everything seems to have been wiped clean, but there are things that are kept, it seems, with the police. Like there seems like there's some things that are kept like, well, when I say quiet, it's really what I mean by that is they have stuff, but they're not sharing fully to you. You only know bits and pieces, and those bits and pieces are very minute from what I see. What she's also sharing too well, there's one thing she wants me to let you know. Like, she's thanking you for taking care of your family and keeping this case alive as much as you can. Because it seems like a lot of people in your family, and not that it's wrong what they are thinking, it's to close a band. It's like not to reopen a wound, right? It's like to keep, because it's such a horrible thing that happened. But like she keeps basically saying, and I know I already mentioned this, but you need to go back to the M name. That's what you need to do. And that's what she's saying, that you'll get an answer. You'll get something. Do you mind sharing with people just like what had happened so they could, hear it?
Yes. So where my mum's car was found, it's on a dirt road that you wouldn't even think that there was a road existed. The way it was abandoned was on, it kind of like the road had washed out from a lot of rain. So the way it was positioned, you shouldn't physically drive on it. You shouldn't physically have gone on that road. Everything was, they did DNA, they did fingerprints, nothing had come off it. There was you have to come down like a range, and there's a lot of vehicles, CCTV, camera footage. The car's not on there. Apparently, they don't know how the car had got there. They don't know who drove the car there. They're assuming Mum drove the car there. She was last seen at a 7-Eleven fueling her car up, but they don't know how it got from there to where it was found. So amongst like being in the 21st century, amongst being there should be, all these cameras throughout the streets, there's no footage. So that's where we're at. We just don't know what happened, how it got there.
That's really tough. And what, the thing that kind of what you were just saying, and kind of piggybacking off that, because of what I was kind of seeing and everything, is the whole technology thing you are correct about, because she's saying she's saying the reference that she made to me is, I'm not working on a case from the 80s. I'm working on a recent case.
Yeah.
So there is technology like available for different things. The thing that she's wants people to understand about this, from what I can see, is that this was a very planned situation. This wasn't like a grab and go. And I know that sounds horrible, but she needs people to know that, because what she's showing to me with like this quote unquote like grab and go, or not this grab and go, is how methodical everything was, and how kind of what we mentioned, there's no DNA, there's nothing, and people like the law enforcement seems to have exhausted a lot of options. What it does seem to me is that the M name has his finger in a lot of things, so it's easy to do. Because what she's also showing to me as well too, and I wanted to ask you this, from the 7-Eleven to where she was showing to me is kind of like wildlife or like a dirt road, like you said.
Yeah.
It's not a heavily populated area.
No.
And she keeps saying to me, even from that 7-Eleven to that area, there's not a lot of people that would go in that direction or that way. So like, that's why she's saying to me, like, it was very methodically like planned, very methodically planned. And she's also trying to clear this up too. For people that think that she just left on her own, that's not the case, because it's like the way that she's explaining it to me is, again, it's if someone puts papers and they're writing things in front of me, it means that there's a plan, right? Like the thing that I need people to understand when I was connecting to her and like what is being shown still is, if you are involving yourself with people that are, one, connected, but two, not good people, and also if you see whatever it is, wrong place, wrong time, a lot of the times when it's a small town, small community, or a place that's not heavily populated, like a metropolitan area or whatever, it's a lot easier to unfortunately go missing, because it's just, there's not a lot of resources. There's people that are like that. And that's kind of what she's showing me, is the fault of involving herself with the wrong people and hearing or seeing something like wrong place, wrong time. But it also kind of shows to me too that, and again, this is the part that I'm a little confused about, like how fast like everyone exhausted the options. I think that's a big part of the confusion for me, is how and why did they exhaust it so fast? And she keeps underlining the M name, saying that like the reason why is this person. And what she's also saying is before all this, like she was trying just to get by, is what she's like saying to me. Because she's saying that she had her stuff that was going on. She did.
Yeah.
Everyone has stuff, but she's saying she was
Yeah.
really working through some things. And some people know how to prey on the weak, in my opinion, and they know when people are like vulnerable or they're not in their right state of mind because of situations. And she's also just like really apologizing, like, not only to you, but to your family about, I think, doing extracurricular things like maybe drinking or whatever it is, because she's saying that also put her not in the right state of mind at times.
Yeah.
And I can tell that things were amplified from what she's showing to me towards the missing person situation, like towards her going missing. Like it seems like it was a slow burn. Like it was starting to get worse, or she was drinking more or doing things more and more and more. And what she's saying to me too is that she like there's a lot of things that she wants to talk about your family with, but really the appreciation of you like caring, but also trying to remove her from a situation. It does look like I guess from her perspective, it's like had like a gut feeling that something bad was going to happen.
Yeah.
It just seems like she wishes that she listened to that way more, because she's saying that and she's smiling. It's like not blowing people off, but it's like, I'm good. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And that's what she's like kind of like showing to me, that she should have been a little bit more like, I think, vocal and understanding about it in a lot of ways. But my God, I am so sorry. Is there anything else you want to share?
I just want to, are you able to like give me more detail of if she drove her car there, or like what route her car got down? Because obviously it didn't go down a main direction if they didn't see it on the cameras. Like, can you tell me that?
Yeah. From what she's showing to me is that if someone like saw her leaving 7-Eleven and kind of blocked her in and took the car, right? So it's like if someone took her car to drive it to a certain point, right? That's the first part. So like you're wondering how the car even got there. She did not drive herself there. Like that's not what had happened. That's like the major first part. The second part of like, because there is a main road, and even though maybe it's not populated like crazy or a lot of traffic, how it went is a lot of back road dirt roads, like parallel to that main road. Because what I'm seeing is someone who knows that area inside and out. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because the way that they're comparing it to me and the way that your mom's showing it to me is on highways for us. I'm sure it's the same for you guys over in Australia, but there's like service roads that run parallel to the highway. She's saying it was essentially like a service road off of a service road, but like more in like, because everything from my perspective of what I'm seeing is pretty parallel to a main road. Maybe where the car was found is a little bit more secluded in, but if you walk like a little in, the main road is right. Like there is a main road. It just seems that like, and that's what I was trying to say before, is like, maybe he's smart, but he's not that smart because he's doing everything pretty parallel to a road. And that's why she's saying there's no CCTV or no footage, is because everything is...
It didn't go there.
Yeah, it's dirt road, or it's just like... But I will say this from what she's saying, people do know those pathways. Like that's not like...
Yeah.
I think it's locals that know. I'm assuming it's locals that know this, because she's saying that people that are in that area know that. Like, that you can navigate through there with a car, a dirt bike, a motorcycle, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, she's putting like the 7-Eleven, if she's pulling out and then someone kind of pushes her off a little bit or like guides her off. It seems like from where the car was found to the 7-Eleven, like was it far? Maybe a little bit far, but not crazy far. It seems like a car ride would suffice.
Yeah.
So like that's why she's saying to me, like the problem is that you're dealing with people that are very local there, and you're dealing with people that are very connected at the same time. And this doesn't seem like a first rodeo in any type of way. This seems like, this maybe not great stuff has been done prior to this, doing the same thing, because it also seems the timing of your mom's disappearance is also a little weird too, because it seems like, and I'm using this as an example, if it's in the middle of the day, you really shouldn't like people should see something, right? But
Yeah.
it's really like how off the grid it got with a snap of a finger, like how off the grid it just went. And that's why she's saying, like, I know it's like silly, but she keeps saying if you do 1 + 1 = 2, whatever, she's basically showing to me that it's kind of like the 1 is the localized people. The 2 is this has been done before, you know?
Yeah. I get it. And just to, like, before you mentioned how close it was kind of like shut down, it wasn't even 12 months by the time that the detective had completed the report and handed it over to the coroner. So it's currently sitting with the coroner, and I guess until he goes through it, we then just wait and see if he picks up anything.
Is there anything you want to share with the audience, if they have any information, anything at all?
If anyone has any information at all, they can connect to the Crime Stoppers Australia. Their number's 1800 333 000.
You know, I want to stay connected with this case with you, obviously. Like, I want to continue to help. So anything that progresses, just reach out and we will help in any way. And I'm happy, and I just want to thank you for coming on and trusting us to even do this.
Thank you. I do appreciate your time and opportunity for this, because it wasn't easy at all.
I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. And guys, I just want to say thank you showing up every week and listening and helping these families out. It means everything to myself and these families. But let's not stop. If you have any information, please go to the show notes. You can either email me at connectjonathanmark@gmail.com or send me a DM on Instagram at jonathanmarkmedium. Please do not forget to rate, review, and follow the show. I just want to say thank you again, and I'll see you next week.
Psoriatic arthritis symptoms can be unpredictable.
I had joint pain, and I couldn't move like I used to.
I needed relief.
I got Cosentyx.
It helped me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.